Namaste children. This lesson is for class 6th Andhra Pradesh state syllabus students. Peace and harmony. Once upon a time, in a very thick forest lived many animals, birds, snakes and insects. They all lived together happily. They roamed about the jungle and played together in the open fields without any fear. The peacocks were very proud of their dances, but admired the melodious songs of the cuckoos. The elephants enjoyed watching the fish swimming in the pool. The pythons were blessed with long bodies, spoke well of the fine fur of the flat-footed rabbits. The tiny ants, which were always busy, tickled the dark buffaloes. Thick forest means a forest full of trees. All varieties of living things like animals that live on ground and walk, birds that can fly in the sky, snakes that crawl, insects, very small living things. They all live together happily means all these living things were living in a place without any fear and trouble. They roamed means moved about the jungle means throughout the jungle and played together in the open fields without any fear. Peacocks, though they are proud of their dances, they appreciated the singing skills of the birds' cuckoos. Pythons, though they had very big body, they appreciated rabbits for their smooth fur. All these things say that these animals never had any jealousy on others' talents. Maybe that is the reason for their happiness. If one living thing knowingly or unknowingly does some harm to other, they never felt irritated. They often held musical evenings in a large open field. The elephant and the deer danced. The miners and the parrots sang. The tiger and the bear exhibited gymnastics. They called the moon and his friends, the stars, to be the guests of honor at their musical evenings. Every evening they had a get together where they used to show their talents. Elephant and deer danced. Miners and parrots sang. Tiger and bear showed gymnastics. They had guests like moon and stars to witness their get-togethers. One day, a jackal entered the forest. He was dirty, dangerous, and very cunning too. He told the elephants, "You are the biggest animals in the forest. Why do you want to play with the squirrels and the rabbits?" He poisoned the minds of the peacocks, saying, "You are the loveliest birds in the forest. Why do you want to prize the minors?" The jackal then approached the deer and whispered that the tiger was waiting for a chance to kill them. One day, a jackal came to the forest. Jackal had all the bad qualities like not maintaining cleanliness. As it had a cunning nature, always it was not safe for these animals to have the presence of the jackal in the jungle. From the day one it started spoiling the minds of the inhabitants of the jungle. Gradually, all the animals began suspecting one another. Earlier, they had lived together, slept together, and roamed around the forest together. Now, they started to put up boundaries and build fences around their properties. They moved about individually or with their own group. Slowly, all the animals started doubting one another. Now, they started drawing boundaries around their belongings and started to live with their own group. That means all deer living together, all rabbits living together. Now, it was easy for the jackal to hunt the smaller animals and the birds. And when the smaller ones cried out for help, no one came to help them. One by one, the little ones disappeared. The forest slept as the animals were afraid. There were no more musical evenings. The moon was sad. He cried. Now, the jackal was very happy as it was successful in breaking the unity of all the inhabitants of the jungle and started to kill and eat all the smaller animals and birds. Though they shouted for help, no animal came to help the smaller animals and birds as their unity was broken. The moon thought for a while and decided to come down among the animals and the birds as a sadhu. As soon as the sadhu appeared in the forest, the animals and the birds approached him to narrate their tales of woe. They cried, sobbed, and blamed each other for disturbing the peace in the forest. And the sadhu listened to them. The moon could not tolerate the present condition of the inhabitants of the jungle, hence appeared in the forest as a sadhu. All the inhabitants felt that there would be some solution with the sadhu to bring back peace in the forest. The sadhu brought together the lions and the rabbits for a common meal. He visited the python and the viper and had a long chat with them. He advised the eagle not to attack the little chicks that had lost their mother. The sadhu accompanied the tiger and the wild bear to the nearest market. He played with the bilbil, the owl, and the monkeys. The sadhu invited the lions and rabbits for a common meal, had a chat with python and viper, advised eagle not to attack little chicks like this. He communicated with each and every inhabitant of the forest. But the jackal was very angry with what the sadhu was doing. He did not want the animals to live in peace and harmony. So he was waiting for an opportunity to attack the sadhu. The jackal did not like this, did not want all the inhabitants to live happily in the jungle. Children, Do you know the reason? It is very simple. Again, if all the animals are united, it could not have its food without much difficulty. One day, the animals, insects, and birds held an emergency meeting and they unanimously decided to approach the Sadhu and pleaded with him to kill the jackal. The Sadhu said, I will not kill the jackal, but will help you in a different way. When all the animals realized their foolishness of suspecting each other and having hatredness on one another, approached the Sadhu and requested him to save them from the cunning jackal. The Sadhu promised that though he would not kill the jackal, he would help them in a different way. When the sun went to sleep, the jackal came to the house of the hens to take a few of them for his supper. The Sadhu, who had been lodging nearby, came out of the house and spoke to the jackal. Take me today for your meal. One night, when everybody was in deep sleep, Jackal came to a hen's shed. The Sadhu, who was staying very close, offered himself to the Jackal for Jackal's supper. The Jackal, who had been waiting for this opportunity, dragged the Sadhu and ran into the jungle. He took the Sadhu to a lonely place, tore him into pieces, and ate him up. The animals were very sad, angry, and disappointed with what had happened to the Sadhu. They were afraid that the hungry jackal would appear again the next day. The jackal felt very happy as it was waiting for that only, dragged the Sadhu to a lonely place and cut him into smaller pieces and ate him. All the animals felt very sad knowing about this. They felt that Jackal would come again to eat one of them the next day. Then they heard a strange noise. All of them ran in the direction. What they saw surprised them. They saw the stomach of the jackal growing bigger and bigger. It continued to bloat until it burst. Then they heard a soft voice. May my animals, birds, and insects live in peace and harmony. May there be no fences around you. May you sing and dance once again. Remember me and be not afraid. But further surprise, they heard a strange noise, saw the stomach of the jackal growing bigger and bigger till its stomach got burst. They heard a soft voice about to living in peace and harmony, to break all the fences they had around them and to live happily without any fear. When they looked up at the sky, they saw the moon shining brilliantly. spreading milky brightness over the earth. The animals once again started to roam, sing, and sleep in peace. They broke down the fences which they had built. They invited the moon and the stars for their cultural evenings. They saw the moon shining brilliantly and brightly. All the inhabitants of the forest sang happily, broke down all the fences, and started living happily without any fear, difference, unitedly with a peace and harmony. The moral of the above story is, do not listen to a bad people, as always they think about their own sake only. Thank you for watching the presentation.